So I wrote that article called The Rise of the Free Rider Diversity Champion, and I had so many comments and so many questions and engagement, and I saw people really liked it and shared it a lot. So I thought I would talk about it in a video. And so, I found that this year in 2020, it was really the year of diversity and inclusion, from Black Lives Matters to all companies sharing their diversity reports. It really became the year of diversity. But what happened, what I've noticed is that a lot of business leaders and HR directors started reaching out and really asking for, free advice and things like, free tips and, free consultancy and like even free, speaking engagement. And so I really wanted to write about this because I noticed a pattern and more people were doing that. And so, I wanted to talk about a couple of things, who are those business leaders, HR directors who are asking for free advice and free work on diversity. What kind of what kind of behavior do they exhibit? How do they behave, and really what are they asking for? And finally, what should be done? So what I've seen is who are they? So I think in my experience, they fall into I think 4 categories. So it could be either the CEO of the company, CEO of a medium-sized company, and they want maybe something like a review of their policy, diversity policy. It could also be someone who is part of the senior leadership team, and maybe it's a chief people officer, for example, chief operation officer, and they want to speak with a consultant to get some free tips and advice. Sometimes it could also be the manager of, a team manager or a team leader, and maybe what they're after is some advice. And finally, sometimes it can be event planners or conference program managers, and they want a free speaking engagement or free content. Those are the kind of the 4 main categories that of people who are asking for free diversity work. And then kind of what kind of behavior do they exhibit? So I think again, we can put them into kind of 3 different categories. So one is if it's a leader, CEO, sometimes they want a free review of their diversity policy. They want a free review of their diversity goals. They want some feedback, etc. And they literally expect the work to be done for free. And then sometimes what they're after is kind of consultancy and advice. Okay, we want to get started. We need to do something. We're not sure what to do. Can you help us? But by the way, we're not going to pay you because we don't have any budget. So that's the second category. Now, another category is, I talked about it earlier, is the free speaking engagement. So sometimes people want free speaking engagement, whether it's for their own companies, like an internal company kickoff, an internal company all hands meeting, or sometimes it's to educate their customers. So I've had a few people reaching out to me and they wanted me to speak for free for their customers, to educate their customers, but for free. And sometimes it's a free webinar, a free guide, free content. So that's really, again, it could be any kind of organization, could be a small organization, a mid-sized organization, and they want some freebie. They want some free checklist, free content, free guide. So that's kind of the behavior they exhibit. And really, why is this behavior harmful? It's really in that kind of approach. It's really thinking that diversity is not really a business priority. It's more like a tick a box exercise. And there is really the belief that, again, you're going to tick a box, do this one thing, and you can, move on. And that's really harmful because it's really not prioritizing diversity as a strategic business advantage. Also, it's about, the danger here is that there is no investment, not just budget, but time. There is no real investment and commitment to diversity. If there is no budget allocated, it's a strong sign that, it's not prioritized as a strategic business advantage. And then finally, there is a wrong perception that diversity is a moral imperative or is the right thing to do. And it's really misunderstanding how diversity is a real competitive advantage. So what should be done? I mean, if you ever come across something like that, I think what I've seen is that individuals are more and more educated about diversity. So what's going to happen is that employees are going to notice it's a very tick a box exercise, and the stakeholders and the members of the public, even customers, are going to realize it's a very very short-term, narrow vision of diversity, and it's going to be very harmful to the company, to the brand. So I think the takeaway here is that smart business leaders and smart HR directors and professionals really understand that they need to approach diversity and inclusion as a business advantage, the same way they would approach sales, the same way they would approach marketing, the same way they would approach product. They would have budget, they would prioritize that. So those are my main tips I wanted to share with you. I hope that was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you've come across anything like that.